Hello everyone, welcome back to this channel. We are studying class 10, chapter 14 and that is sources of energy. Friends, in the last video we have talked about the last topic which was biomass, and biomass is nothing but it is the energy, biomass energy that we get from the waste material of living things or dead parts of plants and animals, right? So moving further in the same topic, let us start another important source of energy which is biogas. In this video we will mainly talk about biogas, its construction, biogas plant and working of biogas plant. Also we'll talk about advantages and uses of biogas. At the end we will talk in short about wind energy. Clear? So let us start. Starting with what is biogas, right? So biogas is a mixture of methane, hydrogen sulfide, hydrogen and carbon dioxide as well, right? Biogas is a mixture of different gases. Now how it is produced? It is produced by decomposing the animal waste like animal dung, plant waste which comes from harvesting and agriculture, vegetable waste and also sewage. So we decompose these things and produce a gas. But how do we do it? We decompose it in absence of air. So that is why this process is also called anaerobic degradation. But why it is known as gobar gas? Because gobar means cow dung. Since the starting material is mainly cow dung, so it is also popularly known as gobar gas. So biogas is a mixture of methane, carbon dioxide, hydrogen, hydrogen sulfide, nitrogen. Chief constituent is methane, but methane is combustible, so we are utilizing that gas. Carbon dioxide non-combustible, hydrogen sulfide is combustible. So different gases are there which are combustible and which are non-combustible. But ultimately biogas is a very important fuel. Let us see how a biogas plant works. Now you can see in the figure we have a perfect diagram, well labeled diagram of a biogas plant. It is a totally underground brick and cement structure. Over here you see we have a mixing tank which is present above the ground level. This line is ground level. So mixing tank from where we are going to do the input, that has to be outside the ground so that we can easily fill inside the biogas. Next we have inlet tank, right? Mixing tank goes into inlet tank and then it is a slopy structure so that the whatever we are putting, the slurry, the semi-liquid of cattle dung and water, that goes inside and goes inside the digester. Okay, the main chamber is digester. You see, uh, in mixing tank, what we do, animal dung, water, and all these wastes we are preparing in semi-liquid form. Then in the inlet chamber we fill it, and inlet chamber connects the mixing tank and digester tank. Okay, so that is why it has a slope so that everything goes in smoothly. Now digester, you see, the inlet chamber opens below the digester, which is a huge tank. This one is the main structure. It has a dome-like semicircular ceiling. This ceiling has an outlet. So what happens when everything is decomposed? They are decomposed by anaerobic bacteria and microorganisms. Gases are produced and they are filled up over here. Okay, and this outlet contains a valve by which we can control the outlet flow, right? So we have a valve for moving out the biogas. Whatever remains inside is still decomposing. Make sure that it takes almost 2 to 4 months to produce perfect biogas. Now digester opens in from below in an outlet chamber. You can see over here we have an outlet chamber. Here outlet chamber contains all the byproducts which is left after the biogas has been produced. Okay, and finally we have an overflow tank where the slurry, in the overflow tank the slurry, whatever is left, it is very important as a manure. So instead of fertilizer, how can we do organic farming? By using these manures. Clear? So now You see, a simple flow diagram is there where on the left hand side you see livestock waste, crops, wastewater, food waste, everything is digested, everything is decomposed, and it is mainly divided into two things. One, biogas is produced which then is utilized for heat and electricity, right? And below we have digestate, that means slurry, which can be used as a fertilizer, soil amendment, livestock bedding, right? Now, biogas can also be converted into biomethane, which can be used as a fuel in vehicles and also in gas grids. So, this is a simple flow diagram of biogas. Now, advantage and uses. Advantage is that it is having high calorific value. It is a clean fuel, no residue produced, no smoke produced. It is non-polluting, economical, and can be supplied through pipelines. It burns readily because it has moderate ignition temperature. So these are few advantages. Uses as a domestic fuel for street lighting as well, for electricity, and if it can be compressed like CNG and LPG, it can be used or it can replace CNG in vehicles. So these were the advantage and uses. Now, moving on to another very easy and important form of energy, that is wind energy. Here we convert kinetic energy of wind into electricity. Now it is not a modern method because in ancient time we used wind energy in sailboat, water lifting pump, grinding grain, lifting water from wells. Okay. Now we are using it in production of electricity. So windmills, they are the machines which work with wind. They are like big fan. When wind strikes across the blades, it exerts force, so it rotates. This rotation is geared with the shaft which is connected to generator. So electricity is produced, and in transformer they control the voltage, and then that controlled voltage electricity goes in through the transformers and it goes to the various places. Right. So this is how wind energy is utilized. Now in India we have potential to produce wind energy. Over here you can see all the green places, they are coastal regions where we can produce enough electricity by wind energy. Right? For commercial purposes, more windmills are established in a large area which is called wind farm. India's potential is 20 to 45,000 megawatt. Largest wind energy farm is in Kanyakumari in Tamil Nadu. It generates 380 megawatts of electricity, but we can still produce more. Now see, what are the advantages? First of all, it is very environment friendly. It is an efficient source of renewable energy. Wind is never going to stop on this planet. No recurring expenses. It doesn't cause pollution. Limitations, it can only be established at windy places. Minimum wind speed required is 15 km per hour. But in case of low wind speed, we need some backup facilities. If you want to establish wind farm, it requires very large area. 1 megawatt requires 20,000 meter square area. Initial cost of building and setting up is very high. And in case of calamities, we have to save these windmills and its parts, and high maintenance cost is required. Right? So these were the advantages and limitations of windmills. Now, for you, we have some comment questions. After seeing this video properly and completely, then only you go for the comment answer. No need to hurry. The questions are: which country is known as country of winds? Second is: which country is the leading country in electricity output from wind energy? And where are windmills or wind farm located in our state, Gujarat? Right? So these three, you search in the internet, search in the textbook. If you have general knowledge, then also you can give the answers. That's it for today.